There we are.
Yes, it is working again.
It is working again. Let me do it like this.
Yeah.
It is Friday afternoon and we are in Bussum and it's 3 o'clock. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
Very warm welcome, and my name is Arturo Massaro.
Yes. Thank you for being with us today again. We are today about to share our posts from this week.
Yeah.
And this week the topic was conscious leadership.
Yeah. How important could that be?
Yes.
For the next level, the next development for business, but also for people.
Yeah, so that works on a personal level, I suppose. Leadership, taking leadership, and also in the workplace. So our posts were about that, and I think we decided that I was going to speak first.
Ladies first.
Oh, there we go. So thanks for watching, and we've also updated the last videos on our YouTube channel if you want to watch them as well. So they're on there now as well. Okay, so and
what I really like is that we have a new logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So if you really go to our Facebook page of Conscious World Agents, you will see the new logo, and let us know what you think about it. We are really happy about it and excited about it.
Yes, it was. We made it. Somebody made it for us, and we're really happy with it. So, CWA. So, conscious leadership. Well, I just had a bit of an almond, which is now stuck.
Okay.
But I'm going to have a little sip of my decaf.
Your decaf.
So,
by the way, I see on my Facebook page that we have subtitles.
Yeah, we get subtitles now, eh?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and it's nice.
Yeah.
So some people might find it helpful to understand our double Dutch.
Yep, my double Dutch. Especially. Well, it's intertwinkled.
It's intertwinkled.
Yes.
Absolutely. Totally. And it stays that way.
Yes.
I hope trademarks. So, no, wonderful. So, it's from a very young age. Oh, look at that. That's a nice quote, actually.
Yeah, I love it.
Live, laugh, and love.
Yeah.
So, from a very young age, I've always had a great interest in leadership. So I just loved watching people, how they were leading situations, whether that was teachers at school or people who were like my ballet teacher or something like that, or someone like that. It was really like, I was always interested in how they made people bring out the best out of themselves. And that fascinated me from a very young age. And I could also see when people would bring people down, and I never liked that. It was just like, wow, it just so felt horrific. And I started to observe that when I would be in a certain environment, that would have an effect on me too. So I choose to be in an environment where I found people were uplifting each other, or they were if for example I had friends who were musical, they would be how can I say it, encouraged to do more of that and things like that, rather than saying, oh my gosh, you're playing horrible, or you're so out of tune. It was more like, wow, I really saw you tried hard today. And I just loved that. It lifted me up just by seeing someone else being lifted up. And then I was into horse riding from a very young age. I just loved big horses when I was very young as well. And the bigger, the more exciting it was, because that was like quite a freedom when you be so up so high. And then later in life, when we started to have some horses in our own family, where we had to take care of, my daughter was also very interested in horses, so we got ponies for her, and one was called Inca, and we were not very much into this high achieving kind of equestrian environment. We didn't really like that, but what we liked was the connection that happened. And I just loved seeing my daughter running around outside, being with her horse, trying to catch the horse. And if she was in a bad mood, that horse would just run miles from her, you know. So she was like, oh, I don't like it. When I want to ride, the horse escapes. And you know, she would become aware of how her own state of being affected the horse. The horse wanted to be miles away, but when she was then calm and she was like, no, you know, we're going to make this fun, and then the horse would just approach her. And that was really interesting. And then we started to go on some events, you know, cross country and all that. And then we had to take the horse into the trailer, but the horse was scared of the trailer. So you can then use brute force or whatever and take a horse into a trailer, but that was just not how we liked things to go, with violent behavior and with aggression and all that. So we took some lessons in natural horsemanship. And when we first saw the effect, how these people who were masters in this started to apply these techniques and how the horses responded to that, was just phenomenal. It was just so heartwarming and uplifting, and like that you could, without any aggression and whatever, really have this bond with the horse that would just answer your call. What you thought what you would have liked it to do, it did for you, and he or she did for you. And that was really, really amazing when I started to see that from that stance how you could connect with animals also, and to see the proof of that. So my interest in leadership became stronger after that, and I started to do some training in that for people in bringing out the best out of people, and authentic leadership and transparent leadership and solution-focused leadership training. And also for myself. But what I really found interesting and found out in that about 77% of the leaders in managerial roles really see themselves as fantastic leaders. You know, they bring out the best out of people. And actually 88% of their employees says that they don't. They don't bring out enough of the people. They don't engage the people enough at all. And even worse, 35% of the people would give their last pay of the month, of the year, or their pay rise up to fire their manager, or their leader. That says a lot, you know.
That's 1/3.
That's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And then considering that 46 billion a year is spent globally on professional self-development. You know, we're doing something wrong. If that is still the case.
I don't see 1% of that on my account.
Yes, we do. No, but I mean, you know, that's what we see. A lot of people, when we give training as well, we like to come back for the training and say, okay, so we deliver this training, but what is the effect? What has changed? What has gone better, you know, since we do it? Otherwise, you just tick a box and that's it. And that's not what we like. We really like them to see and to integrate that positive change, the implementation of that. And some of the research, that we've seen, for example, I love this book, The Mind of a Leader, from Rasmus Hogarth and Jacqueline Carter. It's a wonderful book, and they've done a lot of these research studies in their book as well, and it's very fascinating to read it. So what we actually see in that what came out of their studies as well, that the basic human needs in organizations are just not met. Mm-hmm. You know, like a sense of connection, a sense of genuine happiness, a sense of meaningful purpose, you know, in the job. That's just not there. So if that's the case, if we're spending so much money in businesses and so forth, and if, you know, a lot of people work, so if you don't have that happiness at your work, then what is wrong? What are the leaders? What is the radical solution to that? Well, I feel that, you know, because of this unhappiness at work, there's so much stress. There's so much health problems due to this stress that is work related. A lot of people have been prescribed medication, which is making them even more sick at times, and that I find really concerning. And also what I've seen in some of my personal environment, huge effect on that, and people just getting more and more stress, more and more work, but genuine unhappiness at work. So what can we do? What can we do? Well, I believe that if we let the people be the center in the organization, we create a sense of belonging. So let people in the organization become the center of everything. It's about their genuine happiness. Their purpose is being fulfilled. Because how many hours of your life do you spend at work if you have a job? You know, it's insane if you just can't have this good feeling when you go to work. You say, yeah, I want to go to work. So this sense of connectedness, when they're being heard, they're being valued, is really important. And I feel that if we train our leaders to become mindful leaders, that they become more self-aware, that is also really helpful. We're very good at self-assessing what we're good at. You know, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, but we're not so aware of how we do it. And that, I feel, is the next step. You know, that becoming more conscious, more aware of your actions, your thoughts, how you engage, and how you interact with your fellow employees and your staff or your team. So, and another thing that I really find is that if we can eliminate our ego, if we can let go of that, and we become more aware that we're all the same, we all want to have this great sense of belonging and happiness in whatever we do in life, and that you do it more because of the whole rather than just for yourself. This is also really helpful, and you will see that the employees will really react on that, respond on that rather. They'll feel more connected with you rather than they go against you because they see your ego just flashing everywhere. So and then by building trust, being honest, having honest and open, transparent, authentic dialogues with each other, that really helps as well. And then build on that interconnectedness, build on that organizational interconnected feeling that you create from putting your people at the center rather than just it's all about me. It becomes about it's us. It's this a lot of people, what I find when we do training as well, there is this us and them kind of thing, and if you really can create an us, there is no other, we're all in it here together, then people want to just take that step further as well, and there is just less stress. What is that? We see this happening more and more already in businesses. We see it in people themselves. More and more people are becoming aware that old paradigm is totally crumbling. This hierarchy, this unbalanced hierarchy is just changing. They want to have a more balanced unity. So how can we do that? How can we create this kind of environment at the workplace as well? Well, what really happens that if we need to make decisions in life and we're a lot under stress, we often find that we make decisions that are not based on our inner values, not based on our principles. We're under stress, and then we just make a decision that is pressurized. And when we start to learn to become more mindful and we take a few breaths before we actually have to make a decision and really check with ourselves, does this feel aligned with what my principles are? You might find that you make a total different decision. And that decision is probably coming from your heart and is much more connected with your core values and your inner values. And that will bring you more happiness, inner happiness. So then afterwards, you feel more satisfied in your job as well. You feel like, this was good. It was a decision I made coming from what I really stand for in life. And people will appreciate you much more for that. So when we become more self-aware in that, we also become more compassionate to ourselves. So, I missed that one, but maybe next time I can do it differently. And then we start to have more self-compassion. And that also generates more compassion towards others, because we see that all those other people also want to do that. They also want to be happy, but sometimes don't have the right skills or the skillful means to create that in their lives. So my experiment was this week for if you feel that you have that moment of pressure and so forth, check up with yourself. Is this really what I stand for? Is this really in alignment with what I feel is just in this situation? That might be something that creates more self-awareness with you as well. And actually, you don't have to do this in your job. You can do this in your daily life as well. You can just say, well, what I hear and what I say here, is this congruent with my inner values? Is this ethical? Does this feel that I'm contributing something positive, or am I actually something that's really only benefiting me? So is it ego-based, or is it more selfless?
Mm-hmm.
Selfless and looking at the whole rather than just me. So a bit of an elaborate post this week, but it's something I'm really passionate about. Excuse me. So really, I would say, practice a little bit with that, and you'll find that you become more self-aware, and hopefully it will bring you some benefit as well. And it certainly helped me to think, oh, okay, I didn't do that great, so I could have done maybe this or that if I've known that, but I didn't. And that's a self-compassion that I have done for myself. And does this sit with my inner values? And still being open and curious to the other as well.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
Yeah.
What I like is, and a lot of things relate to what I wrote.
Yeah.
But especially the ethical and moral values that comes up.
Yeah,
These conversations.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need much more in businesses, but also in relationships. It's about ethical and moral compass that can guide us towards different decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your inner compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and I think, just in that we don't say maybe say something new, and it's sometimes good to be refreshed in there as well. There's maybe something in there that you've never, or not something that you have not heard before, but take something from there that can help you. So, go ahead, fire away.
Go ahead, fire away. Okay, that's me then, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things you said are also related to what I wrote, and that's also what I said. I train leaders already for about 20 years all over the world, and what I see is that most of the times there's a good intention. They work hard, and I see different types, different styles of leadership. Some are more directive, more giving instructions. Others are more laissez-faire, let it go. And they say it's delegating, but there is a little bit difference between laissez-faire and delegating. And you have so many styles. But what I see is that it's never about their IQ. Their IQ is in general above average, especially when you come higher in the organizations. They had a good education, they know a lot, they have experience. But when the pressure is coming there, the workload, the time pressure, deadlines, all these kind of things, then people fall back to their preferred style of telling or leadership. And for some again it's being directive, and for some is they walk away, and everything in between. So one of the things, the first step you can change as a leader is not working with the mind, but more working with the feeling, with the heart, and more in having more taking leadership of your own emotions. It's the emotional intelligence. And that's the first step. There is another step that I will come later to, but this is the first step that can help you already. And what is emotional intelligence is that can you deal in any situations, can you deal and handle with your own emotions? You have emotions, we all have emotions, but do you let the emotions lead you, or do you take the lead over your emotions? That's totally different. And then the second step is, can you deal and handle with the emotions of the other person? Because they will also have their emotions. Don't take it personally, it's their emotion. And then the third step is, can you deal and handle with situations that you apparently cannot change? And if you, let's say the law, can you change the law? Can you change the weather? Can you change the behavior of the customer? All these kind of things. No, you cannot change, but they have influence on you.
Yeah.
But if you cannot accept or at least acknowledge that situation, you cannot handle and deal with the circumstances that you cannot change, then you need to go back to the first one, and it's how do you deal and handle your own emotions? So it's more or less a circle. It starts with you, with the other, the outside world, and if you cannot handle these, go back to yourself. And that will already help you not to react anymore from a subconscious level, but respond from a more conscious level. You make conscious choices much better and much more. But there is also another step. And that is, we call it also conscious leadership, conscious intelligence. And what is your purpose in life? Why are you here? What is your contribution to your environment, to the company, to your family? Can you trust your intuition? Because we all have that gut feeling. It comes up. And most of the times we override them with our mind, with our thoughts, with our beliefs that we have. But once you know your own purpose, once you really settle in, you have this alignment, there is coming some kind of calmness in you that's much further, much more calm than being relaxed. There's something in your whole parasympathetic system kicks in, and you will feel peace, much more peace inside. And can you imagine if you would respond from this state of mind, this state of feeling, when you feel the peace inside? When you are the eye of the hurricane, the eye in the storm, what would be the difference, do you think, instead of only reacting from the mind, from your IQ, from all the things you learned, but you still don't know who you really are? So once you really understand who you are, you feel this alignment, you found your purpose, you can really be the leader. You can start to inspire, because everything you say is coming from the heart. People will feel this. You will start to motivate them. You will create an environment where people can thrive. They can really show their own expertise. They can show creativity. They take responsibility and ownership of the things they do, and they want to do it better.
Yeah.
And you also set clear boundaries.
Nice.
Because it's not only, it's all magic and all these kind of things, and you don't have to do anything as a leader. No, you set clear boundaries. Some things are not allowed in your company. That's it. And if you cross this line once, okay, that's the first time that we have a conversation. If you cross it again, maybe you say at the subconscious level, I don't want to work here anymore. That's also, so conscious leadership is also being clear. Set such clear guidelines for people that they can understand why these guidelines and these rules are there. It's just like with children, you know. If you raise children, be there for them, show love, pay attention, help them to thrive, facilitate the surroundings, but also set clear boundaries. It's exactly the same. And once you do this, then I can guarantee you, your first focus is not on the profit, but it's on the purpose. Mm-hmm. It's on the passion. It's on the people. And what will come is the profit from your business. It's a direct result of people who want to do something extra for you, who want to be there. And they don't wake up in the morning and say, I need to go to work. No, they say, wow, I want to go to work. I love it. Mm-hmm. That's what I think Richard Branson said it. Yeah. Help people and educate them as much as you can, so that they maybe can, they want to leave. Yeah. But treat them as your own family, as your own friends, so that they want to stay. Yeah. And then the spiral is going up. Mm-hmm. So as a leader, stop blaming your people. Look at yourself. Are you constantly, are you most of the times reacting from your ego, from control, from you want to have the right systems,
fear,
putting maybe fear in it, but it's probably your own fear, your own insecurity. Yeah. And once you find your purpose, you don't need to be insecure anymore. You're not. You don't have to fear, because you do what you want to do. And that's what you radiate. And for me, that's really conscious leadership.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Absolutely. Yes. Well.
Yeah. Wow. Is there anything else that I forgot to tell? Well, yeah, of course, we are from Conscious World Agents, and what we want to do is help people to raise their own level of consciousness. Yeah. And I think if you really got the message that we are telling you right now, you will raise your level of consciousness. You will take a step. You look in a meta position. You can see the bigger picture, instead of being there and constantly need to react and firefighting. Mm-hmm. And we don't say it will never be there. It will be there, because that's life. But most of the times you're standing above it, and then you can see the bigger picture, and you see different solutions. Yeah. And you're much more calm. And this will help you also with staying healthy. Mm-hmm. Having a good private life also.
Well, this is it.
Because that's what we see so much happening. People are working so hard. They're working even harder. And the norm is becoming 10 hours a day.
At least.
And then you get paid for 40 and you work 50. And you also work on Sunday, because then, that's helpful. Then at least it's done before Monday morning. If that is becoming the norm, it's structural. You do something wrong, really. Nobody is paying you enough to get sick. Nobody. And the psychosomatic problems will come in. Headaches, back pain, bad sleep, high blood pressure, all these kind of things.
Yeah, and then they get, like I said in my post as well, then you get medication prescribed. Yeah. It's like sometimes even antidepressants, and it's like, what?
And disclaimer, we are not doctors.
No.
Not everything is related to stress, although there are some researchers that say almost everything. But look first at yourself. Am I stressed or not? Yeah. Am I thinking in a negative way? When I think about my job, do I feel immediately the contraction?
Totally.
If you feel that, then something is wrong there. In the situation. You step out, look what you can do different, and it starts with you. But it starts also with you to have this courageous conversation with your leader, with the CEO or the people you lead. Vulnerability is a strength. We don't say, you need to cry every time. No, just say, well, so far I've done this and this, but I don't know it anymore. Can you help me? That's also conscious leadership.
Yeah, it's really amazing, because as you know, I had call this morning with a coaching session online with someone really, really high up in the COVID situation with. Anyway, very big up, and very stressed. I mean, managing 89 countries in the world. Very, very stressed. But what I loved about her was that she was willing to say, okay, well, I want structure and so forth, but it was also, it starts with mindfulness and self-awareness. What am I actually doing that I'm still calling my friends or checking my emails when I'm out with my friends for a meal in the evening, and I'm still replying to emails then. You know, there's no more time for myself. So this is what we see happening more and more and more. So, you know, time management, it's not about what we said as well. It's not about managing your time, it's managing yourself. And that's where it starts. So setting your boundaries, saying, this lady said as well, she was on holiday and she did not open her computer for 2 weeks for the first time ever. And how refreshed she felt after that.
Yes.
You know, but that's what it was. And I was saying to you the other day, I remember working for the National Health Service in Scotland, and in my holidays there was also a big case going on, and I needed to reply to an email, I thought, which I never did. And then the response of the person who was handling this case said, thank you so much for writing in your email in your holidays to me. Well done. And I was like, well done. That's not leadership, you know, because she was like really encouraging this kind of behavior, that in your holidays you would still reply to your work emails. And that's when I made a conscious decision that I was not going to do that ever again. And it's setting boundaries and, you know, like saying what I was saying this morning as well, just like before you go into a meeting, say, you know, I've got another appointment at 10 o'clock and I'm out of this meeting. And just setting clear boundaries, people will get used to that. It's also re-educating people like that. So really hope that you took some tips and some skills from that, and it's not going to maybe all work at once, but take little steps and just start changing that subconscious mind that's running these habits that you've created and that have become, like Arturo said, the new norm, and start to change them from the inside.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the signals you can notice within your company is how the people you lead, how they react. If they react stress, if they feel a lot of workload and time pressure and all these kind of things, probably the way you lead them has to do something with this. Because you feel the pressure from above you and you cascade it to your people. Because you cannot handle your own emotions, you cannot handle the time you have, you cannot handle, and I make it black and white now, but you cannot handle your own actions. Look at it. And a lot of things you're already doing well, really. But if you want to become better, look at the things that are not going well and have the conversation with your people, you lead, and also with your direct manager. And I've been a manager myself for 6 or 7 years. And managing people is so easy if everything's going well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's the easiest job you can ever have.
Yeah.
But the real leader is there when the problems are there. And then the people need a leader. And they want to, well, maybe it's not the right word now in this moment on earth. They want to fight for you. They want to be there. They want to help you.
Well, they want to do as much as they can for you.
Yeah. If you are the real leader.
Yeah, and what I believe with that is that you create leaders that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
We're creating leaders.
Yeah.
And I really feel, especially with the younger generation, that's what we need to aim for, that we change that old paradigm and we encourage the youth to show them their own leader, skills that they already have. Because, like one of my clients said, oh, I don't have a strategy, I don't have a structure. And then actually when she was saying all the things that she was doing, I was like, did you just hear yourself say all the things you're already doing? Yeah. But you're just not aware. We're not taught and encouraged to build on our strengths and skills that we already have. So, well,
I think that's it.
That's it for today. yeah, thanks so much for watching. And any questions? I don't know if there's any questions on the chat, or
I think
I can't see
31 questions.
then we're going to reply to them later.
Yeah.
But now, thanks so much for watching, and please share if with other people if you think they would benefit from what we share today. And we would love to hear how you manage your life on a conscious leadership level, or do you run an organization, maybe a small group of volunteers, or what do you do that brings out the best in people? And also that you take good care of yourself, your own wellness and well-being. All right. Thanks for watching.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. And thank you for your wonderful post sharing as well.
Yeah, thank you.
I love it.
Ciao.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.